Alright, welcome to Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. This is a game for the PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch and Xbox One. I will go into a little more detail about the game once we start, but time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so here we go. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. So first of all, a little bit of backstory about this game. If you haven't seen the original game, it was made 20 years ago. Very good game, incredible game, and so good that it got a remaster, and this is it. So, a little bit of backstory about the adventure mode of this game, which is what we're going to be playing. The story, it's a really good story, trust me. It's incredible. There's an alien who wants to turn the world into a concrete parking lot. Very good stuff. Very compelling. But that's not what we're really here for. We're here for sliding in a go-kart. So basically, this game is going to be a lot of R1 to drift and L1 to boost while we're drifting to maintain our speed. And yes, as you may have realized, half of this run is loading screens. Don't worry, we'll get to that. But no, once you get into the driving, it's a very fundamentally sound experience, I will say, with a ton of RNG, which again I will get into. The first level, Crash Cove, actually a great track to go over just the fundamentals of the game and why it's got a pretty decent skill ceiling, because the lines that you can take, obviously this being a racing game, it's going to be all about what line we take through turns, as this loading screen nearly fills up. In the bottom right corner, you will see a meter that goes up, and with every time I hit L1, I get a boost from it. Obviously, I want that bar in the bottom right to be as perfect as can be. Even though it says perfect, they may not actually be perfect, because it actually matters whether it's at the very top of the bar or not. It doesn't just mean perfect if it's in the little end section there. But it's little things like that that really impact your speed. And another thing to go over here, as well as this shortcut, which is very, it's not very hard at all. It's just a simple R1 input to jump. But reserves, this is a term you're going to be hearing quite a lot throughout this game. Reserves is essentially the way the game recognizes how much speed it should be giving you and for how long it should be giving you that speed. With every boost, I'm able to keep the speed that I currently have for longer. So when I went over the greenish turbo pads at the end of the level, the game gave me this amount of speed, and now I'm boosting continuously to keep that speed. So that's what a lot of this game is going to be, as we finish up the first level there. Another big part of this game, as many of you who have seen this game will be familiar with, is Podium Rng. This impacts the run more than I wish it did, let's just say that. So there's 3 animations you can get on each celebration of you winning a trophy. One is where the camera will pan down to your character and just sit there. That's what we want. That takes about 9.7 seconds. There's also average RNG, where the camera pans from left to right. And then there's bad RNG, where the camera zooms in and out. 9.7 is the good one, which we just got. Brilliant, love that. Average RNG, where it goes from left to right, is 12 seconds. And bad RNG, when it zooms in and out, is 13. And that happens after every single trophy. And there's 16 of them in the game. So that's quite a lot of RNG that can impact the run in a very big way, I guess. I think the world record actually gets 9 out of 16, 8 out of 16 good RNG, which is just unbelievable. It's insane. But okay, I really hope I can show this off in this run. This would be very nice. There is a tech in this game called a Tnt Tech. First of all, I need to get lucky and pull a TNT item, and I need to place it in a very certain way off of a ramp so that I can hit it the next lap, and for some reason it will store the momentum of the downhill whilst I have it on my head. It's a very niche tech that only happens on certain tracks, usually when there's a downhill. So it'd be very nice to show it off because it is incredibly, like, aesthetically pleasing, I guess is the term. Here we go. Second track again. Just gonna get the start boost at the start of this race here by hitting X in the right way. I should mention, just because, and also there's another turbo pad. I forgot to mention, but turbo pads exist, and that's what basically gives us the strongest fire we can get until later on, which I'll explain when we get there. But yeah, start boosts are basically just where at the start of a race you hit X in a certain way that, damn, no TNT, that sucks. Ah well, it's fine. There's still another repeat of this track left, so. But well, you hit X in a certain way to fill the gauge up at the start of the race so you can launch in an effective manner. And because most of, well, not most, all of the AI are on easy difficulty, because that's the fastest way to play this game, because the AI don't gain your weight as much and drop less items. So that's why we're playing on easy. They just won't get in our way at all, so that's neat. As we finish up the second track here. Little shortcut here. In between the pole. Now do you. Sadly I didn't get a shot for Tnt Tech there. I will get another chance to play that track again, because there are 5 boss fights in this game. The first one being Ripperoo. And as his name suggests, that track being Roo's Tubes. We'll be playing him, or playing against him on that track. After the next 2 tracks, because there's 4 tracks in every world. So, okay, Podium Rng again. It would be incredible if I started this run off with 2 good RNGs. That'd be unbelievable. Alright, let's see what we get. Okay, so there's your average RNG, where the camera pans from left to right. This loses 2.3 seconds to the one I got at the end of Crash Cove, the first race we did. Also, I should mention, Aku is a shockingly important time save in this run. Not because of like anything he does per se, but it's more so what he doesn't do. So, good guy characters basically get Aku cutscenes like that, like Spyro. Whereas bad guys like Dingo, for example, will get Uka cutscenes. And sadly, in this game, Uka like says the line "Congratulations, you win a trophy" for way longer than, just way longer than Aku. I think it takes him like 1.3 seconds longer just to say those 4 words, or 5 words. Sorry. So yeah, crazy. Okay, Mystery Caves. This is the first level that introduces cycles. There are going to be some fireballs coming out of the ground over 3 ramps in about the center of the track, and avoiding them is going to be a little bit of a challenge. May force us to go off our line slightly, but we'll see what cycle we get. Again, just getting the start boost and trying to build reserves right off the bat with these turbo pads. Getting a high jump off this turtle is useful, and then going into this shortcut. That's like a pretty good start to Mystery Caves, this being this track. I can get a Tnt Tech on that downhill that I just went down as well. But, okay, well, we're going to have a shot at it. But it's not as dramatic as the one in Roo's Tubes, which again, I really hope I get. So yeah. We're actually going to go for Wumper for the first time in this run here. Basically, in the original game, having Wumper, as you can see I have 7 at the top of your screen right now. Having Wumper in the original game was a bit more useful than it is in this game, because in the original, every 1 Wumper would increase your speed by about 0.2%, all the way up until 9. And then the 10th would just make your items better. However, in this game, your speed is only increased if you can get your hands on exactly 10 Wumpa. So basically having 9 Wumpa does nothing in this game. So it's only worth it to grab Wumpa and go out of your way if the track is either long or you can grab 2 crates without losing too much time, because you can only get 4 to 9 Wumpa. Hang on, let me just try and get this. Nice, got it. So it's kind of hard to tell, but that actually was faster. It gave me a little speed boost. As I say, though, the one in Rouge Tubes, which hopefully I can get in Ripperoo, is a lot more obvious. But as I was saying, you can only get 4 to 9 Wumpa from 1 Wumpa crate, which is why you need to grab 2 at a minimum to get 10 Wumpa. Whereas sometimes in the original game, it was just worth it to grab 1 and then just get whatever boost you can get from that. Okay, next track. The next track is quite infamous in this game, mainly because before this game got patched, when it first came out, this shortcut gave a lot of people a lot of trouble, the shortcut that's in this track. Not to mention that the barrels that are in this track that you'll see, in case you don't know the next track, it's called Sewer Speedway. The barrels that are in it are also, as I get another good RNG, honestly this run has been really good so far. The barrels in the track have absurdly large hitboxes that are actually bigger than the barrels themselves. Whereas in the original game it was almost smaller than the barrels themselves. So this track got a lot harder in the remake of this game, or the remake of CTR. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously the game has been patched numerous times since then, but it's still definitely harder than it was in the original for sure. Has a slightly different timing, so we'll see if I can get it 3 times. This was the level that when I was practicing, it was not going well at all, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, okay. Also, if you have anything to say, now would be a good time.
I definitely have. We have a donation from Jaws77 for $5. Thank you for this donation. And we have a $20 donation from Taru, both without comments. Thank you for your donations and keep them coming.
Alright, perfect timing to begin this race. So, this is going to start off with a turbo pad instantly, which is really nice because it gives us this amount of speed just in time for the shortcut that I was talking about. So here we go. Nice, got it. So you might hear the term scripted jumps. This was not a thing in the original game. In the original game, you were a lot freer to get any height from a jump. In this game, that shortcut is one such example. You get a certain amount of height depending on your timing of jump, no matter what. You can only get like 4 or 5 different heights, and that height that I got right there was the best one, because not only did I make it, but it propelled me slightly forward as well. And again, that's perfect. Just in time to make that barrel cycle there, which is really good. And maybe just in time to get behind. So there's so there's an example of the barrel hitboxes being slightly bigger in this game than they are in the original. As you saw there, I was to the side of the barrel, but that was apparently close enough to get hit by it. Pretty unfortunate, but it's fine. We get our fire back and we get our 10 Wumpa, so 3 out of 3. Nice, and perfect timing on every single jump. That's very nice. However, because of that fail there on that barrel, I no longer know where this cycle is, so this is scary. Okay, we made it. That was good. Okay, honestly, not a bad run so far. Pretty good. Usually in this level I would get a 145, 146, but due to that barrel we're going to get ourselves a 150 flat. Still fine. Still absolutely a fine run. So, Ripperoo, the before mentioned Tnt Tech is one thing in this level, but another thing is a cutscene skip that we haven't yet figured out. there's been a few players who have managed basically to skip this cutscene that's about to come up, driving straight into the boss fight while it's still going on. However, it's most consistent on the Nintendo Switch version. We theorize that it's probably because of the lag that Nintendo Switch has. Shouts to Nintendo Switch, by the way, for being the laggiest version of this game. Bad RNG. For the first time, as you can see, the camera zooms in now like that. But so this cutscene has only been skipped like twice on PS4 ever. I'm gonna go for it just because who knows? Yeah. So we just have to skip it the normal way. But it saves like 5 seconds, but no one knows like how or why it happens. Again, we theorize because of the lag maybe, but who knows. Alright, so Ripperoo. Again, it's going to be on RooseTubes, the second track that we played in this run. Not much else to say besides the fact that we do get an attempt at the Tnt Tech again, because every single boss in this game puts out items behind them, like infinitely, on a cycle, as a way of like making them harder. But because of the before-mentioned easy mode, we're just going to blow right past him straight away, and we're actually going to catch up to him on lap 3, and lap him and use his TNTs to go for a Tnt Tech. What is nice is I can also go for it on lap 1, because I pulled a TNT. So I'm going to go for it. I have 2 attempts at it, because I pulled a TNT just there. I set it up on the ramp. We're going to see how this goes. It would be very nice to get this in a marathon. It looks very cool. So I hope I get this. Okay. Here we go. Coming up to it now. Gonna do 2 boosts here and then let's get it. Yes! So you can see the speed that I get there is just ridiculous, and that's the downhill momentum being stored by the TNT. Again, no one knows why this happens. It's very strange, but it's a great niche of a tech, so it's very welcome. Let's see if I can use the Ripperoo TNT as well. Ah, just too high. Okay. Well, I'm happy I got it anyway. Like at some point, gonna go wide of his TNT there. I'm happy I got it at least. That's very nice. And we're going to get ourselves a 114. A 114 is actually really solid. I'm not complaining at all. I've only had a few 113s in my time, because to get a 113, you need to hit both Tnt Techs, which is kind of luck dependent. But I had a chance to hit it there, but just went over the last one. But it's fine. So all in all, not a bad first world. Now we're going to make our way to the level that's most affected by luck, Tiger Temple. So this should be interesting. But we've got a little bit of hub world movement. And now would be a good time actually to talk about the patch that recently came out for this game. So walls in this game used to be larger than they would seem, whereas now they've been scaled back, which makes the game honestly just a lot more fun. For example, that line there, I would have never been able to take. Same with this line here. Both of those would have been impossible for me about 2 weeks ago. So, shoutouts to Beanox for making this patch. Also, nice turbo track glitch. While I was doing the hub world movement, I went past a locked track, which we won't see in this category actually. That's saved for 101%, which is the max percent completion category of this game. But as I went past it, it registered that I'd gone near the level, so it decided to show me what level it was. But then for some reason it stayed there for the rest of the movement. That is a glitch that is pretty common, but it's kind of funny that it happened here. Alright. Here we go. So, the RNG that I'm talking about in this level is there's a shortcut that you'll see on the minimap, which is in the bottom right. You'll see that we're able to like skip a turn, basically. There it is, at the bottom of the minimap. However, that shortcut is locked unless you throw an item forwards at the door. Which again, hopefully you'll see, unless I get ridiculously unlucky, which has happened before. That is the item I don't, because basically TNTs, nitros, and boost items you cannot throw forward slash like use period to like be a thing on the track. For example, boost items obviously just give you a boost, they don't actually appear and materialize on the track. There's a grass shortcut. I kind of nailed it. That's fine. Not the slowest thing in the world. What I really want here is a potion. Oh my goodness. Beanox Y. So, 0 out of 3 is a less than 1% chance. And we're on for it right now. Okay, there we go. Okay. So even 1 out of 3 on the shortcut is really unlucky. That's an 11% chance. Which is still, like, really unlucky. Okay, that's a little bit better. Still not great, but definitely gets the job done. So we're just gonna... Hello, TNT. We're just gonna launch this potion at this wall, and we're gonna be able to take a neat shortcut. Very nice. Alright, and that's the end of the track. What's funny is I got another potion, so if I was a 4th lap, I would have been able to go for it again. But too little, too late, I suppose. Alright, next track is Coco Park. This is seen as the easiest track in the game, which means I'm probably going to mess it up, because that's how it works. There isn't too much to say about this track, besides there being a shortcut over the grass. And just overall just keeping your reserves, keeping your speed up with boosts. So, once again, if you have anything to say, now would be a great time.
Yeah, I would like to remind all of viewers that during ESA Together, the first 800 subs to ESA will be matched by a $2.50 donation from our sponsor HyperX. So let's smash that goal and work our way towards another emote slot that all of you can use. Also keep in mind that if you have Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime and Twitch Prime, you can do a free sub to a channel. So think about subbing to the ESA channel.
Alrighty. So once we get out of the Aku cutscene, just some small movement here, and we're in the Coco Park. So, again, not much to say about this level. However, the rest of this hub, this like world area, the next 3 tracks are all gonna be killers. So you have Poppies Pyramid, which is the track after this one, that's very hard. Dingo Canyon, which is the home of the best character, and if you disagree with that, well, I don't want to say you're wrong, but you know. And then Poppies Pyramid again in the form of the Papu boss fight. So, a very difficult ending to this hub world, and it only gets harder and more challenging and more faster from here. So, this is kind of like, you haven't really started the run yet until you're to Poppies Pyramid. So this is the last, like, okay, settle your nerves, because the thing is going to happen where you either make or break your run. So, again, this is another track where you can go for 10 Wumpa, but it's not necessarily needed. However, okay, so I'm actually kind of happy that I got this. So if I get 9 Wumpa here, I got 8. So if I'd gone 9 Wumpa there, I have a boost item right now, and I would have been able to use that if I had 10 Wumpa to get maximum fire, like the fire I have right now. Which would have been brilliant, because it would have given me faster speed for lap 1, which we don't usually have, and that would have been really lucky. But unfortunately, we came one Wumpa short, which was a shame. But it would have only saved like a second anyway. Okay, so here is actually a great chance for me to talk about a tech that will become very instrumental in the later parts of the run. Never mind, let me talk to you about something else. So the CPU, the AI, they can be very cheeky. And they can hit you with items, which is a very rare thing in the original, but in this game, the AI like to throw their weight around, let's just say that, even on easy mode. So as you the AI, that can happen sometimes. Really funny, but that happened in Coco Park of all levels. But yeah. Alright. So that's like the opening section of the run out the way. This is where it gets really challenging. Just to put into like words how crazy this next level is. Before the patch that made walls in this game less like large, I suppose. The tool assisted speedrun of this time trial alone was a 119.96. Nice, good RNG. And the time trial world record done in real time was a 120. They were close. This level is that optimized. So it's kind of insane, this next level, but basically this is going to be the first real level to really test the limits of our reserves, because we're not going to be able to boost that much because of all the sharp corners. We're going to be doing something called a U-turn instead. A U-turn is where you turn really sharply and you hold down a direction and square. It's pretty tight because you have to hit down before square, because if you don't, then you instantly lose all your speed, because the down input cancels the brake input that square usually gives. Whereas if you hit square first then down, the game will think you're braking and just cancel out all your speed. So if you're going to do a U-turn, that's like very important. But it also means it's quite tight, because as you're going to see, the start of this level starts with 90-degree turns in a very like fast way, I guess. Like they're all back to back to back very quickly. So it's not going to be much time to like ready myself to do these inputs. So there's a U-turn and there's a U-turn, for example. You also have this grass shortcut, and I somehow kept speed, so never mind. Okay, yeah. So basically, like, your reserves throughout this entire level are really tight, and if you run out of reserves, then what just happened to me will happen, where you have fire and then suddenly you don't, because you weren't boosting enough to keep your speed. So yeah, I'm not super surprised that happened, just because, I mean, I was surprised to even keep it during this grass shortcut here, which was much better there. But yeah. Also, I didn't even mention, but like I'm doing these shortcuts. These shortcuts are so like meat and drink, I guess, for like playing this track, but you don't even think about it really. But I should explain, this grass shortcut is just 3 hop inputs, a pretty precise time, and then that is just 2 hop inputs, and then this is just a hop and a U-turn, so it's not too bad. Again, 120 is the time trial world record, and I just got a 125, so just shows like how insane the time trial world record was there pre-patch, and now I think the time trial world record is something crazy like a 119.5, so yeah, huge props to the guys currently grinding that time trial. It's ridiculous. Alright, next track, Dingo Canyon. As said before, it's just, Dingo's just the best character, and if you disagree with that, then I'm sorry, but you're incorrect. Sorry to break it to you. First of all, it would be nice to get good RNG here, because this would pretty much mean, I think, that I'd be on pace to... There you go, good RNG, where the camera just pans down and doesn't move. I'm pretty much on, like, maybe like plus 2 or 3 seconds on PB. This is a really good run. Can't complain at all. Alright. We actually have to go wide here, otherwise we would activate a cutscene where Aku would talk about how I don't have enough trophies yet to challenge Papu, so we need to just go wide around that turn there to avoid triggering that cutscene. Because if we do trigger that cutscene, that loses like 7 seconds. So we don't want to be doing that. Alright. Dingo Canyon time. Also, I should mention, what this loading screen is just talking about here, the hint that it's showing, this game has loads of like different like game modes, I guess. And one of them is called Ring Rally, where you just go through rings over and over and over again. They get smaller and smaller, and your cart gets faster and faster. It's little things like that that set this game like like, they make this game feel different to OG, the original game, for sure. Alright, Dingo Canyon. So we're going to start off instantly with this sand shortcut, which thanks to the patch recently, which again made walls act differently, and less, like, just be less big. It makes that shortcut way easier because the rocks before would just destroy us there. The rocks and the cactus would just obliterate us. Whereas now, because the hitboxes on these things is much smaller, it's a lot easier to do that shortcut. It's still not free by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely easier than what it was, that's for sure. Alright. This is one of the levels where AI are at their most scary. I mean, they're always scary, as proven by Coco Park, a level that's really wide open and you should never be aimed ever. And I still found a way to get aimed. Ah, I barely hit that rock. That's a shame. Still fine though. Just proving that it's not a free shortcut at all. Barely touched that rock, so I lost all my speed. But the AI are scary because you meet them here in a really narrow section. And then you go this way because it's faster than the left side, and again in a really narrow section. So the AI can just choose to obliterate you if it wants. Luckily we didn't get obliterated there, so all is good in the world. 128 actually isn't too bad, especially with a mess up on lap 3 that lost me my speed. Yeah, that's more than takeable. Alright, Papu boss time. So I will mention that, again, I think this is something that the most recent patch fixed. There was a glitch in this boss fight where the shortcut I was doing in the trophy round, where I would jump off this platform and then go onto the left. That shortcut you couldn't really do safely in this boss fight, because sometimes it would randomly count you out of bounds in a really glitchy way. Oh my goodness, good RNG again. That's unbelievable. This run has been super lucky so far. But yeah, so basically you wouldn't be able to go onto the left shortcut because the game would randomly count you out of bounds and lose you 15 seconds for no good reason. However, in my practice and in the last 2 weeks since the patch, that has not happened. So touch wood, you know, like hopefully I'm not proven wrong here, but either that or it's just gotten way less likely to happen. So either way, marathon luck, don't happen now, please. So again, very hard level, you know, it doesn't get any easier. If anything, it gets harder because Papu places potions everywhere. Similarly to how Ripperoo in the first hub world places TNTs everywhere. So here we go. Grass shortcut again. I kind of messed up, so I had to do 4 or 5 hops, which isn't exactly ideal. I'm talking about this shortcut. When you fell off here, it would spawn you out of bounds sometimes, but I think we're safe, he says, as there's still 2 laps left. I am going to go for the rarest TNT Tech ever, the TNT Tech that you saw in Ruse Tubes and Mystery Caves in Hub 1. I am going to go for it. I don't think I've ever hit this in a run before, but, you know, why not, right? So we're going to go for it. Oh, never mind. Okay, I realized instantly that I had accidentally gotten 10 Wumpa, and I had turned my TNT into a Nitro. That wouldn't have been good if I didn't see that. Okay, well, it's fine. It's still a good Papoose regardless. I can't believe I've ruined the TNT Tech. I'm sorry, boys. Still a 120, what, 4? That's solid. That's a good first couple of hubs. As we just skip this cutscene. Alright. First 2 hubs down. And again, I would say that you're not truly safe from... If you're just like doing runs of this game, you're not truly safe from hub 2 yet, because there's a reason we call this next level Extended Hub 2. You're not really safe from resetting just yet, because Blizzard Bluff is next, and it has 3 shortcuts per lap, and it's only 24 seconds long. Like the level, like 24, 23. Oops. I was trying to blind drive during that cutscene, but turned a bit too early there. So yeah, that's something I should say actually. During those cutscenes, those key door cutscenes, you can drive while the screen is black. So it saves a little bit, but yeah, I just messed up there because I tried to be super fast, turn way before I should have. But yeah, so this level is very short, but it's action-packed to say the least. This entire hub world actually is incredibly action-packed. Every level has something going on in it. This one obviously has 9 shortcuts to do in about the space of 1:10, which is crazy. I think the world record time trial for this actually is a 1:07. Oh my god, Dingo. Dingo just wanted to say hi. It's fair enough, I respect it. And oh, not even to mention that this boulder exists there, so which can absolutely be annoying. This is the second shortcut, and this is the hardest one of all, the third one. Very difficult, but there's timing to it. What you want to do there is you want to hop into the snow at the entry, and then hop again when you're on the right hand side. I'll explain it in more detail when we get up to it again here. This one is very simple, just an R1 input at the edge. But this one, so R1 input here and then again to get over. It's 2 hops, but it's quite precise. So you don't really want to mess that up, especially as it costs about 10 seconds if you do mess it up. So it's pretty unfortunate if you do. Missed the boulder all 3 laps, which is nice. Didn't get destroyed by the AI. And one last shortcut, very nice. That was actually a brilliant Blizzard Bluff. I couldn't be happier with that. Yeah, 110 is brilliant. I'm absolutely okay with that. Fine by me. Alright. So, here is the end of Aku giving us hints. He's just going to say, congratulations, you win a trophy. So, we can instantly drive off the podiums now. Which is nice for sure. The game is done giving us hints. We're on our own now, basically. Next track, Dragon Mines. This track is another track that you'll be seeing twice, because Komodo Joe, the boss of this hub world, being a Komodo dragon, you know, that's his home track. I cannot believe how lucky this run has been getting with good RNG. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I actually, back in the glory days, TM, I used to have the time trial world record for this track, and yeah, since then that has been absolutely demolished. My time trial world record, I think 2 weeks after the game came out, 1:16:21, and now it's like I think it's like a 1:13 something. It's crazy, the levels that people have pushed this track to. Yeah, just mental. So I've got to plug my own world record though. It wouldn't be right if I didn't. It wouldn't be right. Okay.
Can I hop in for a second?
Yeah, go for it.
So I want to remind everyone that by donating to ESA Together, you will be supporting the future of ESA, and all donations will go directly towards supporting the running of future events for you to enjoy. So head over to esamarathon.com/donate and get in those donations and get them right on stream.
Alright, awesome. Alright, next track, here we go. So, this track has benefited a lot from the newest patch, because a lot of the walls in this level did stick out quite a lot compared to what they look like, whereas now they're a lot more like, I don't know, realistic, I guess, with how much they stick out. So this level, dang. So I wasn't able to keep 5S badly, because I ran out of reserves as I hit the turbo pad, which was a bit of a shame. And then I hit the wall. Yikes. Okay, not the best start to this level, but hopefully I can get a good lap 3. This is actually a bit of a problem because it messes with the minecart cycles that go up this track, as you can see on the right. So that's kind of scary. I have no idea where the lap 3 minecart is going to be now, thanks to that mess up. Yeah, usually I would be aiming for 24 lap 2s. So that just shows how poor that was. That was scary. That missile could have gone for me if it wanted. That was terrifying, but we're fine. We're good. Yeah, I think this is going to be like a 118, 119. I usually aim for 115 in runs now. But yeah, 118. It loses a bit of time, but it's all good. Okay, this next track is it's very special. It's the first blue fire track of the run. What that means is basically there are certain turbo pads in this game that give you a special kind of speed that you haven't seen yet this speedrun. It's a lot faster than anything else you've seen so far this speedrun, and it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's very nice to look at on the eye, so hopefully I can keep the speed throughout the entire race and make this look as good as it deserves to look, because this is honestly one of the many reasons why this game is so loved. It's this type of speed that the original has to offer, yes, but not at the for a prolonged amount of time. In fact, I'm going to set the record straight now. This and USF are not the same. Don't call this USF. USF was a term in the original game to describe fire that you get off of a turbo pad that uses your built-up speed and your built-up reserves, aka your boosts, to propel you forward, and was a glitched mechanic. This is entirely intentional and allows you to keep boosting while doing it, whereas USFs didn't. If you boosted while having a USF in the original game, Ultimate Sacred Fire, by the way, is what USF stands for. If you boosted while you had Ultimate Sacred Fire, you would completely lose it. Whereas the whole point of Blue Fire in this game is to keep boosting, to keep the fire so you can go faster for longer, basically. Lap 1. Okay, so lap 1 is gonna not have blue fire, but lap 2 and 3 will, because the blue fire ramp is right at the end. So I'm gonna go for a shortcut on lap 1, known as the big boy. I have never gotten it before, but it's a marathon. Let's do it. It would have been so insane if I got it. You have no idea how insane it would be. So I usually just go for this, he says as he fails it. Alright, let me drift here, then get it. There we go. So that's what I usually go for. But it would have been wrong of me not to go for the big boy in a marathon. It would have just been, it would have been a misplay. Sometimes you got to go for stuff. But yeah, it's fine. We're gonna get our fire back here anyway. I probably lost like 10 seconds or so, but I don't regret a thing. And here we go. This is what we're all here for, the blue fire pad. So we go off that ramp, and now we have an insane amount of speed, but we're going to keep boosting to try and keep it for as long as possible. U-turns are going to become huge now, because we're just going to be able to maneuver, basically just maneuver, because with going this fast, and with the character selection being a speed character, because obviously more speed the better, speed is the best type of character to pick in this game, completely destroys acceleration characters and turn characters. But the drawback to a speed character is that you don't have good turning. That's where U-turning comes in. Basically any kind of sharp turn, we're not going to try and drift around it. We're just going to U-turn like this. That's not good. Okay, we're fine. Whew. Luckily I had a lot of reserves, so I could get that TNT off my head and still keep fire. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh. I see. So I was unlucky. First of all, the potion was kind of blind and I couldn't really see it. And then another AI, I think it was Tiny, who by the way is the worst character ever conceived by men. Tiny hit the Nitro behind me, I think it was Tiny. And that caused me to blow up again because I was in the radius of the explosion. Wow. Pretty unlucky. Marathon luck if I do say so myself. But at least I got to show off a full lap, right? I got to show off a full lap, so don't worry, you will be seeing blue fire again a lot. It's so basically the entire last world are blue fire tracks. The entire last world has blue fire in every single track. So you will be seeing that speed a lot more, trust me. Alright, Tiny Arena. He'll get very mad at me if I don't mention this. So, Rain KJ used to have the world record in Tiny Arena. Shoutouts to Rain KJ. The world record for this track now is, wow, it's something crazy, like a 2-minute 48. This is by far the longest track in this game. Or at least in this run, rather, should I say. Just by far the longest. So, it's very, demanding of your concentration. I guess it's very technical. There are a lot of U-turns, a lot of sharp turns. If you're familiar with Wario Stadium from Mario Kart, it's similar to that in the way that it operates. So yeah, very long track, very difficult track. Requires quite a bit of endurance. So I'll probably concentrate for the first 30 seconds or so. So if you have anything to say, now would be a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I want to talk real quick about the amazing t-shirt that I'm currently wearing. It's the ESA Winter 2020 event t-shirt. And if you want to have an ESA t-shirt, you can also get it right now. So head over to www.speedrunstore.com and get your own ESA merch. It's super comfy and super soft.
Brilliant. Alright, here we go. Tiny Arena. So instantly, gonna get fire here, gonna get the Wumper crate here. Gives us actually the optimal amount of Wumper. Shame that I instantly hit the wall, but all good. So this is going to be a little bit slower than what I would want as I... the movement as well. Okay, this is not an ideal start, but all good. We're going to get a turbo pad around this sharp turn coming up here to regain the speed that we did have. Very nice. And we're going to get 10 Wumper here as well. The reason we're going to go for 10 Wumper is because the crates are pretty much dead center of the track, so they don't waste much time to pick up at all. And as well as that, the track is, as previously mentioned, a very long track, so the net gain for having that speed boost on Wumper is increased in this track more than any other. Because the 2% speed increase from getting 10 Wumper means more the longer the track goes on. So it's very important to grab 10 Wumper here. Saves like, I think it's something like a second and a half if you grab the first 2 Wumper crates that are available to you in the level. Sadly, I grabbed the first Wumper crate and the third Wumper crate because I missed this Wumper crate here on lap 2. But yeah, still fine. I only lost like probably like 0.1 or something because I only had this stretch to go through on lap 1 before I hit this Wumper crate. So all in all, not bad. I'm actually going to get rid of my items here and fish for a mask. Basically a mask, if you're familiar with Mario Kart, is similar to the star power-up. It just makes you go super fast and it means you're invincible. And you may be wondering, why can you get that in first? Well, for some reason, Beanox decided to make it so that there was a 1% chance of getting a mask in first. So a 1 in 100 chance, but with how many iron boxes we hit in this game, we may as well try our luck. So I believe it was the current world record holder for this category, who actually may have been beaten today by Barca. Shout out to both Karanari and Barca, both excellent runners of this game. Kero, I think, was I think it was Kero, who got 2 Aku masks in one tiny arena. Which is, I think is it a 1 in 1,000? No, 1 in 10,000 chance, which is just ridiculous. It's very rare to get 2 masks in one run, never mind 1 level. So that was crazy. What did I get there? 256? I mean, 256 is fine. What I usually aim for there is a 252, 251, 253, somewhere around there. But obviously with the lap 1 mishap, couldn't really make that happen. So, third boss, and the last track we will play that doesn't have Blue Fire. We'll be back to Dragon Mines to face Komodo Joe. It's important to pay attention to Komodo Joe, probably more than any other boss, so far at least in the run. Simply because he places... Well, he throws TNTs, another good RNG. This RNG is unbelievable. He will throw TNTs out the back of his car, but he will also randomly place a Nitro, and it's the Nitros that we want to worry about. So, basically, Komodo Joe has like a 90% chance, it's pretty good odds, of being on this exact cycle. There's a 10% chance that he is a bit different, but hopefully that won't happen. So, pretty good odds that he's going to place a Nitro in a narrow section on lap 2, or rather on lap 1, that in such a way it explodes as we're passing it on lap 2, which can kill us. So what we're going to try and do is beat the cycle to where the Nitro explodes slightly behind us. That's our aim here. So hopefully he doesn't be a bit weird and decide to go on a different cycle here. And hopefully we can play optimally and try to beat this cycle. Because this cycle has actually killed quite a few runs. I know it's definitely killed one of mine. It's probably killed some other people's runs as well. So, okay, good start. Not hitting that inside wall is nice. Pretty decent line in here. We should beat it. Nice. And you can hear it explode behind me. So we made the cycle, which is really nice. I'm happy I made that. So, this is actually looking like a pretty decent Joe so far. We're going to pass him up soon. Good line. So we're going to pass him up here. Make sure to go on the left to avoid that Nitro placement, but is also very consistent. Sadly just hit the wall there, so lost our speed and reserves, but all good. I should be able to not make that cycle. Never mind. I thought I could make it, but I guess not. But I had an excellent start to this. I'm happy I made the cycle at least. Just slightly messed up lap 3, but still fine. Alright. In fact, I think I make that exact same mistake in my current PB. My 47.38 without loads, I think, also loses about 5 in Komodo Joe. So, that's interesting. Alright. So, time for the final hub world. A bit of a weird thing is going to happen once I cancel out of this key door animation. So, you're aware that we can blind drive while the screen is black during, like, just after this cutscene. Well, I'm going to hold X here, and the game is going to go into a glitchy loading screen because it's still trying to load the hub world, because we weren't supposed to be driving in the black screen. So that's a very strange load time, and is the reason why, because we timed with this game without loads, it's the reason why the time on the end split isn't actually the real, like, without loads time, because the load remover doesn't take that load into account. It's a very weird load. It doesn't happen on any other hub world when blind driving, but for some reason it happens there. Very strange, but there you go. Alright. I should also state that on the topic of blue fire, there are different speeds of blue fire. So, you had Polar Pass in Hub 3, that was pretty fast blue fire. This level is going to have blue fire, but is definitely faster than levels such as Dragon Mines and Tiny Arena, but is barely slower than Polar Pass. Doesn't make it any easier though, because as you can see, this level is all green, And as you saw in Polar Pass, actually, when I hit that green potion, they can already be sneaky and hard to see. However, in this level, it gets even harder to see them because everything is green. So, I have actually lost a run to being able to see a green potion because everything was just green everywhere, and I just got hit randomly. I think it was around here actually. It's just green everywhere and just got hit, couldn't see it. Pretty unfortunate, but there you go. As you can see here as well, the power of U-turning really comes into its own when you have blue fire, especially when you have enough reserves and you don't need to boost much, because you can just U-turn this, for example. I'm going to U-turn this as well, again down before square, so that I don't bonk. Again, if you missed my explanation of U-turning earlier, down, left and right on the D-pad, and a square input. Very important to hit down first, because otherwise the game just thinks you're braking and you'll cancel all your momentum. There was a green potion on my left there. Luckily that was in a dark green area, so the light green kind of stood out there, which is nice. Okay, not bad. I'm going to just jump over this hole, get a landing boost, and again, and again. Very nice. I should keep my reserves fine. And then just U-turn. Again, 45-42 is pretty good lap times. Another 42 would be absolutely fine. It is possible to get 41 laps here, however, it is pretty difficult. I think the time trial world record here, if I remember correctly, is like I think it's like a 208, 207 maybe. It's very good either way. Going through the AI, try not to get hit. Hopefully, I have been hit by that AI up there, but we're not going to get hit by that person today. Thank goodness. Very good. It's going to be 210. I very rarely get a 210. That was a really good engine labs. Just a very, very low 211. That was very nice. Yeah, that was very good. Didn't get IM'd at all. Didn't AI, just stayed out of my way. Very nice. Happy with that. So, next level, Cortex Castle. I would just like to go over the hub world movement in this area, because in the original game, you'll notice that when the podium loads in, the entire podium is like surrounded by like railing. In the original game, that railing wasn't there, so what I could do was I could just straight away jump down to where Cortex Castle is. You can actually see the railing in this cutscene here, as I get bad RNG. I mean, I guess I'm due bad RNG after the insane RNG that this run has had so far in terms of podiums. But I would just like jump off to the right there and be fine. But the game forces us to go down the spiral, sadly. But this is a cool spiral. I get why they wanted to show it. Yeah, it makes sense. But yeah, that's just a very small difference between the original game and this game. There are a lot of other differences that are way bigger than that, I assure you. Too many to go over. But alright, Cortex Castle, another blue fire track. As previously mentioned, this entire hub is just blue fire. This is probably the scariest track in terms of items, because if you've seen this track before, you'll know that pretty much every corner, barring like one, is a 90-degree turn. So if there is an item right behind a 90-degree turn, you cannot see it and you will absolutely hit it. There is no time to react. So AI can absolutely mess with you here. So again, this is a pretty scary track. So here we go. Alright. Again, blue fire comes right at the end of the track. So lap 1 is pretty much without blue fire, but then lap 2 and 3 will be. Our aim for lap 1 is obviously like to just take optimal lines, but more so than that is to get Wumper. I want to have 10 Wumper ideally. Sadly I missed that crate just there, which is a bit of a shame, but it's all good. Hopefully I can get my hands on 10 Wumper later. So, again, just taking tight lines, making use of U-turns, keeping our reserves high with boosts and drifts. Gonna jump over this corner. Gonna do a double hop on this blue fire ramp to get myself more reserves, because it gives you like more reserves if you hop on it twice. Because for some reason, even though the turbo pad you would think that the turbo pad is just the green and black part. However, for some reason on that ramp, the whole ramp basically counts as the turbo pad. Very strange, but yeah, that is definitely a thing. So again, just taking tight lines. You'll see what I mean here. Like, I'm gonna double hop, and that part of the ramp for some reason counts as it as well. Didn't do the spider cut. I'll go for it on lap 3 because it's less risky. You can actually go inside that spider that I went wide of just there. Happy that I haven't been hit yet. That's neat. And there shouldn't be any items that I don't already know of on this section because the AI don't have a chance to put any more down because I'm ahead of them now. Didn't have any wumper for the whole of this, which is a shame, but still fine. Good corner cut at the end there. Okay, the spider's up there anyway. So I usually aim for a 149. 150.01 is absolutely serviceable. There is no shame in that at all. But yeah, alright, Hot Air Skyway next. This is usually seen as like the Rainbow Road-esque level of this game. There's no off-road, it's just if you go off the track, you're falling off the track. There's blue fire pretty much from the get-go. Like the first 20 seconds is without blue fire, first like 16, 17 seconds, and then everything else is just corner cutting and risk taking. So it's a very high octane track, I guess. So just before we get into it though, if you have anything to say, now would be a good time.
Yes, I would like to remind everyone of an upcoming bid war. For the next game, Snowboard Kids, we can still choose the character that's going to be played. Currently in the lead is Tommy, which is the standard character for the game. But if you want to make the game a little bit harder for the runner, you can choose another option. Or if you want to make it kind of insanely difficult, you can choose Nancy and get in those donations towards it.
Okay, brilliant. Alright, so actually, okay, so before I get into this track, I will just say one thing you may have realized about this game is that the fact that the loading screens are pretty long, and they've been getting longer with every patch. The community has basically come up with a theory that before the game loads a track, it loads most of, if not the whole game. Probably not the whole game, but it loads most of the game before it loads the thing that it's meant to. Hopefully if the game does have a PC release, Beanox will fix that, but fingers crossed. So yeah, that would be a very nice patch, because I know for a fact the loading screen turned off runners from this game, which is a real shame because this game has a lot going for it. So yeah, alright, as I said, blue fire, lots of corner cutting, lots of U-turning. Just going to do 2 drifts here and 3 drifts here just to hang on to reserves a little bit. You can cut that turn way more than I just did. I slightly messed up my line, so I didn't really have the optimal angle. And then there's a shortcut here, which in the original game is ridiculously hard, but in this game, because of blue fire, something that wasn't in the original game, you can make it a lot easier. Just ran out of reserves there. Luckily, it's not going to lose too much, because nice U-turns, because you pick up blue fire again right here. However, my reserves are at an all-time low, so I'm going to have to do some drifts here. There was a potion there, but I jumped over. That was sneaky. I saw that one game. Nice one. Epic attempt at my life there. Alright. So we're just going to go for some reserves here. I'm probably going to play it a little bit safe, just because again, like my reserves are a very low level. Going to get 10 Wumper though, which is nice. Going to hopefully not get destroyed by the AI. Very cool. Nice. Good stuff. So this is how lap 2 should have began, with me just U-turning down there with blue fire. Sadly it didn't, but oh well. Again, just corner cut. I want to drift there. There we go. That's the drift that I was missing all of before, but got it that time. There's the optimal fog jump. Very nice. Good lap 3. Good lap 3. I'm happy I was able to show off good hot air skyway lap. However, we will be back here as the boss of this world takes place on that track, so we will be back there. I think I got a 2:10 there if I'm not mistaken. A pretty good time is like a 2:07, 2:06. That's like pretty good for a speedrun. However, the time trial world record there is a 2:01:55, I think, which is frankly unbelievable. But then again, it takes like the reserves to the limit, and it takes its lines to the limit, and it's just an outrageous time. So, yeah, this game has definitely been pushed to its limits for sure in a multitude of tracks, and that one is no exception. So, average RNG for the second to last RNG as we go into the last trophy, which is going to be Oxide Station. The final boss of this game, actually, Nitrous Oxide. He's the alien dude that we've been fighting this entire time. Not that you'd know it. Again, this game's story is very compelling, and it's a tearjerker. It's a tearjerker. So, Oxide Station, here we go. This is what I would probably say is the hardest track in the game. Putting aside all of the item problems and all of the AI shenanigans that can happen, just in a bubble, this track, just you versus the track, this track is probably the hardest track in the game. In terms of this speedrun. So it's 2 minutes 40 if played well, if you keep blue fire the whole way through. It's very like narrow, and in the final boss, when we play this track again one last time, you will see that it gets even harder. So here we go. Hopefully AI don't mess around at the start here. They kinda did, but I can get this fire here, this turbo pad. And nice, it looks like I'm going to keep it because I'm getting loads of perfect boosts in, as you can see by the bottom right. Very nice. The item that I pull, a TNT, doesn't really matter too much. I would have liked a potion so that I can throw it away. But as previously mentioned, TNTs we can't throw forward. So if I was to use it to get another item, and maybe like in hopes of pulling a mask, I would be risking running into my own item on the next lap, unless I got lucky and an AI hit it. But relying on AI on this game is it's not what you want to do. Let's just say that it's not what you want to do, because they will destroy you more often than not. Sadly, I jumped over that turbo pad. That isn't ideal. Luckily, I caught that one that I don't usually catch. So my reserves are still pretty healthy. 59.56 lap 1 is fine, considering I missed the what's it called? The first turbo pad at the very start of the race at lap 1, which probably cost me about 0.7. Oh my goodness, that potion. And that one, nice. Game trying to kill me, failing though. But yeah, that is actually, I will mention, that is actually one key difference between this game and the original game. The original game, the AI affect you way less. They definitely can still mess around with you. But the difference between this game and OG is because if you were a certain length of track away from OG, like from the OG AI, sorry. Also 51.15 lap 2 is not bad. They would completely like deload and they would just drive. They wouldn't like place any items, they would just drive. Whereas if you're close to them, they would throw items and stuff. Obviously in a speedrun you're miles away from them because you're just better than them because you're a speedrunner. However, in this game, because this game is from 2019 and not 1999, it can load the whole track and it can simulate what the AI is doing with items and stuff like that. So items will randomly appear on the track because the AI are still playing. Whereas in the original game they are not, they're completely deloaded. So, yeah, so that's why items are still like everywhere, even though I'm like nowhere near them. 241 is fine, considering the lap 1 and like overall just playing it safe and having to avoid items here and there, that's absolutely fine. Here you will get a cutscene skip, the only one in this category, unless you're playing as acceleration characters, which I highly recommend not doing, because speed characters just are the best. And even though they have low acceleration and low turn stats, speed just, you know, it's a speed run. Speed's the best. It makes sense. However, because of acceleration, characters like obviously having good acceleration, they get off the mark quicker. And what we're doing in this cutscene skip that you're going to see after this podium, good RNG to end the run, sums it up really. Really good podium RNG this run. What we're going to be doing is holding X and accelerating into the boss door before the cutscene even loads like that. Acceleration characters, because they can obviously drive faster off the mark than speed characters, they're going to just be so much like more efficient at cutscene skips. Which is why you can actually skip Ripperoo consistently with acceleration, whereas with speed it only sometimes happens, and when it does happen it's a miracle that no one understands. So that's the only thing acceleration has going for it in this entire game, basically, besides the fact that it's probably the second best engine style in the game. But that doesn't mean much, because speed is just so much better than anything else that this game has to offer. So, there is only one piece of, one difference, I guess, from this boss fight compared to the trophy, and that is on lap 3, I'm going to be messing with Pinstripe's bombs. So, as previously mentioned, every boss throws out its own items. Throws out TNTs, Papu throws out potions, Komodo Joe throws out TNTs and Nitros, and Pinstripe throws out bowling bombs. So what this means is that he's going to be throwing bombs out the back of his car. So when I'm behind him on lap 3, I'm going to have to be very careful. There is especially one bomb that I'm looking out for, which is pretty much RNG. It's like a 50-50. Whether you go outside or inside. I'm going to go outside, because I feel like the bomb goes inside the line more often than not. But it's going to be after this hairpin, there is going to be a bomb, and it is terrifying. So let's see if I get hit by it or not. I'm going to go outside! Okay, you saw it on the right. Good decision, me. Whew. There's another bomb here. And we're past him. Whew! Okay. That has killed more runs than I'd like to admit. Yeah, you're kind of playing a game of rock, paper, scissors with Pinstripe there, and luckily he went paper, I went scissors, so we're in there. I have a boost item, I may as well use it. It just gets me more reserves. Doesn't really affect my speed in any way, because I obviously have the fastest speed I can get in this track right now, being blue. But yeah, there you go. An actual pretty good Pinstripe, played pretty safe with an outside line, but still a 207. Yeah, it's very good. Alright. Just gonna skip this cutscene. Okay. Final boss time. So, Oxide, again, an absolute run killer. This is arguably harder than the Oxide Station trophy, just because, again, as previously mentioned, bosses throw out all kinds of items. Oxide throws every type of item at you, and he gets a head start. Not that that's really gonna matter, because we're still instantly gonna pass him. Because of this run being on easy mode. Again, if you missed my explanation of that earlier, it's just because AI don't do as much on easy. They don't throw as many items out, so it's all good. But one thing this is gonna bring up, I guess, is if you run this game on medium difficulty or hard difficulty, which I don't recommend, you don't have to deal with what I'm about to deal with here. So basically, Oxide is so slow on easy difficulty that we catch back up to him, like we have done many of the AI across this run. However, this is a problem, because he's going to be throwing out red potions, which is the item that you get when you have 10 Wumpa and get a potion. He's going to be throwing them out all last lap, and we have to avoid them for the whole last lap. It's incredibly nerve-wracking if you're on a PB pace run. Yeah, it's very scary. So, there is a strat that I'm going to go for here to actually avoid having to deal with his potions entirely. I got very lucky and pulled a red potion. So what I'm going to do on lap 2 is I'm going to put this red potion on a certain ramp and hope that Oxide hits it. If he hits it, Oxide will of course be slowed down because he got hit by my item. But what that means in the long run is that when I catch up to him, he's going to be like less further ahead of me, I guess. And like he's going to be further behind where he usually would be. And that means that I can pass him and his red potions will mean less. Because I'll be ahead of him quicker, which means I won't have to deal with him. So that's the idea. I have never gotten it in a run before. So we'll see how it goes. I'm talking about this ramp. We're going to put it slightly on the right. I'm going to put it up there, see if he hits it. Again, oh dang, that sucks. Hit the wall barely. That probably means I'm still going to have to deal with his red potions. That only loses like 3 though. I'm over it. It's not too bad. I'm actually going to drift off this ramp just for more reserves. Do a couple boosts. Because of course that took away all my reserves and all my speed. We got it back. I will mention, this is the second to last lap. Time will end once I cross the finish line on lap 3. So not now, but next time I cross it. So here we go, final lap. His potions usually start... Also, I didn't see if he got hit. I don't think he did. That sucks. The potions usually start across this jump here. Yeah, he didn't get hit by it. That sucks. Okay, we're dealing with his red potions. So, you just got to avoid them, basically. They are kind of a set pattern, but not really. Like, there are patterns, but there's so many of them that, like, it's basically, like, luck-based. But you just have to have quick reactions. Going to the right here usually works. Then cutting back in, getting this turbo pad jump over. Take a tight line to avoid the red potions. Go back onto the outside. Damn, that sucks. Ah well. So, time is when I cross the line. I'm gonna cross the line now. Time. That was a really good run. I cannot complain at all. That was really not bad. I will just say huge shout outs to the NF community, the NF time trials, the NF speedrunners, everyone that made this possible, that made this speedrun what it is today. Yeah, great stuff. Can't be mad at all. Smashed the estimate. Yeah, great run. I think that was a 48 something without loads, which, I mean, again, my PB is a 47.38. Can't really complain at all. Yeah, I'll take that. But yeah, thank you all for having me. And yeah, I think the next run is Snowboard Kids. By I think it's Pete Dorr. So don't miss that. But yeah, thank you for having me, and I hope to be in more ESA marathons in the future. Thank you.